Okay, we have Linda. Linda, welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help with?
Hi, good morning. I've got a question about changing the oil and the frequency. I've got my son has a 2001 Kia Soul, and he has extremely low mileage. And it's been in the last 9 months,
Mm-hmm.
he's driven like 1,200 miles. And he hasn't had the oil change. He's been relying on the system to tell when the oil needs to be changed. That little light that comes up, it says, X number, percentage, whatever
Yes.
of the oil life. And is that a good thing to do?
I love this question. This is amazing. No, absolutely. I don't like depending on that maintenance light because that maintenance light, things can happen. The maintenance light could fail. Not to mention that maintenance light is set up in a way to where it counts the number of starts and cycles that it goes. It counts drive cycles, which has to do with the number of times the vehicle started, the length of time it's driven, then when it's cut off. Things can happen to make it get reset. For instance, a Chevrolet truck or a lot of Chevrolets, they reset if you was to cut the key in the on position and hit the gas pedal 3 times within 5 seconds, I think, it resets the light. Well, if somebody happened to do that, it was at the car wash, and for whatever reason, they cut the key on and pumped the gas, the light would reset, and that person would be waiting for their light to come on, and the only thing they would get an indication that it's time to change the oil is a knocking sound in the engine, which is too late. So, no, I still love the sticker on the windshield as one of the primary methods of knowing when to change the oil. On that vehicle, I do recommend full synthetic oil, mainly because it is better. In some cars, on some vehicles, it's actually required, but it is better, and the pricing is very little more than semi-synthetic. So I would use full synthetic, but I would change it every 5,000 miles, and that's what I do myself. I have a little BMW Z3. We just purchased a new Kia Soul, so I like the Kias. They're great little cars. We're purchasing one as one of our rental car fleets, and I'm buying it from Phil and Balkins. It's only got like 20,000 miles on it, something like that. Beautiful driving car. I drove it last week, but one of the first things that we'll be doing, changing the oil, putting a sticker up there. It'll say every 5,000 miles. And then on top of that, most shops that you work with, if you go, and that's the reason I love people building a relationship with automotive repair shop. Most shops, if you change that oil, they will send you a text message in what they have figured to be about 5,000 miles for you. Now that text message won't be as accurate because what they're dependent on, they might say, well, this person is driving 1,500 miles a month, and so I'm going to figure this to where in about 4 months, I'm going to send them a text saying you may be due for an oil change. And so I recommend that. And then even if someone thinks that there might even be a chance that those others may fail, I would put it to where every 3 months it pops up in your phone on the calendar and says, hey, check, make sure the oil's been changed. It takes a second to clear it. But the reason I say that is oil changes are critical. That's one of the hardest conversations I ever have with a person is when they come in, their engine's knocking, they have low mileage, their engine's knocking, and you have to tell them that they need an engine. So you are on top of it there, Linda, in
Well,
making sure
go
that
ahead.
it's done properly.
Well, the thing of it is, when we say low mileage, he's had the car for almost coming up in September. It'll be 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he barely has 6,000 miles on it. It's more like 5,000 miles. So when you say to change it every 5,000
Oh,
miles,
good point.
he's not even making that in a year.
Okay. What I would recommend doing is after
Uh-huh.
let's say that 5 months goes by, 5 to 6 months goes by, he hadn't been that many miles. I would recommend having either him do this if he enjoys working with cars or taking it to the shop. Letting them just look the car over a little bit. Just check the engine oil again. He should be doing that about every month anyway. But check the oil,
Right.
make sure that looks good. Check the brake fluid, make sure the coolant looks good. Nothing unusual. Look at the tires. We do that